Hello, and welcome to Assessing Your Firm's Client Experience Level. I like to start each presentation with kind of the end in mind, but you might think of it as an icebreaker. So for this exercise, just close your eyes, and I want you to imagine what your day would feel like if you have everything you need in order to do your job. Your clients are sending in your documents securely on a timely basis with absolutely no chasing. Your staff can see the status of across all of their clients at a glance. Your clients are happy, your staff are happy, and your firm is growing. Now, this might sound a bit too good to be true, but it is in fact achievable. And it all hinges on the experience that you offer your clients in working with your firm. So just a little bit about me before we get too deep into the presentation. My name's Allison Ball. I'm the Director of Marketing and Influencer Strategy for Liscio, but I also was a practicing accountant before I came to Intuit and spent 15 years there working with accountants. So one of the things I know a lot about is the relationships that you have with your clients and how they can be seamless and easy and also sometimes difficult and full of friction. So what we're going to talk about today is a model of working with your clients that makes things very easy for them and helps you get more done too. So our agenda today is to set the vision, and we've already done that. We're also going to clarify what happens where, just so that you can understand, are we talking about the front office, the back office, what parts of the business are we talking about? We're going to work through some examples of Client Experience 2.0 that you and your clients are already experiencing. And we have 4 questions that you can ask yourself to walk yourself through where you might have some hotspots in your firm and where you might be doing really well. And then lastly, we'll cover some technology that can help. So it turns out that Client Experience 2.0 is very good for your clients, but it's also very good for your firm as well. Because if you make it easy, your clients will respond quickly to your requests, and your firm, your staff will be able to get more done. And it's a kind of a circular, it's a circle of goodness, really. But it can also be a sort of a slightly vicious circle too, because if you have some chinks in the, breaks in the chain along the way, or a wrench in the gears, if you will, then that tends to make it, to make everything full of friction. So what we're going to be talking about today is making it easy to work with your firm and removing friction. Let's first of all clarify before we move on what happens where. Now, if you think about a front office, what we think about a front office interaction is an interaction that you actually have where your clients are actually involved. And there's really only 3 type of categories of really interactions that you're going to have with your clients. You're either asking them a question or you're answering one of theirs. So ask and answer. You are sending them a document or you're receiving a document from them. So send and receive. Or you're asking them to sign a document. And sometimes there's a knowledge-based authentication, a KBA in there, but there's, and this is all happening digitally, essentially, probably digitally. In the old days, you'd have a front office where, your clients would actually walk in and they'd be given a great experience in the front office. What we're talking about is creating a great digital front office experience for your clients. Now, everything else that you're going to have interaction with your clients is what we call advisory, and you're probably going to use your voice for that. And there's a good reason. It's the highest value work that you do. Your clients really require that personal touch when you're giving them advice, and you can make sure that you do answer all of their questions as you're doing it. Now, to the back office is where you're actually doing the actual work. And you probably do not want your clients interacting with your back office tax systems or your practice management systems, or although they may interact with their QuickBooks Online or their accounting software. So that's one where you're going to have a collaborative experience. So front office, back office, we're talking about the front office, digital front office. Now, when you think about what experience you're offering and the interactions that you're having with your clients, it's first of all really important to understand what their What is their day like? Are they at work? When they're at work, are they at their desk? Are they out and about? Um, are they, if you're like most firms, I'm going to guess that many of your clients are not working at a desk all day. Now, and even if they are, in a perfect world, they'd see your email requests come in and they'd answer them immediately. But what really happens? They're busy, you send the email and it's probably very clearly worded and you've got a list of the things that you need and the date that you need it by, and it's all very reasonable. And you have your link to your portal in there, and so that's for security. Um, but what is happening on your client side? They are out and about with their phone in their hand. Um, or perhaps they're at their desk, but they're dealing with their clients in their work. So the reality is that they cannot quickly respond to your requests, given the situation and the tools that they have at hand. And even when they are doing emails, they're probably not going to prioritize their accountant's email over their customers or their coworkers. So especially if your email includes a link to a portal that they've already had a bad experience with. So what happens? Your email slides down that dysfunctional to-do list that email has become, and then it's out of sight, out of mind, and you have to badger. But your clients actually do want to answer your request. And the proof of that is that they send pictures of documents, because the only tool they have in their hand is their phone. So with all of this in mind, it's important to match your ask to what they can actually do. And if you need your client to send you a document, and they're not going to physically come into your office and just hand it to you, you basically have two choices. You can ask by email, and you can know that it's just going to take them a long time to get back to you. And in the meantime, your link might expire, or you might have to help them log into the portal, or you might have to accept a texted photo of a document. And the reason of that is that it's very difficult for them to respond to an email, regardless of what their work situation's like, because you are asking them to step out of their day and work in an environment that isn't ideal or manageable for them. And so, for example, if they are out and about and they receive your email and it asks them to send a document and they have to go and find a scanner, or they have to go back to their computer. So the second option is you can give yourself a tool that goes with them and becomes a seamless part of their day. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to give your clients Client Experience 2.0, and make yourself a seamless part of their day instead of an additional and possibly unwelcome to do. And the best part is that Client Experience 2.0 does not mean that you have to change any of your back office software, accounting, or practice management solutions, because the mobile solution that we're going to talk about today at the end plays well with everything that you use. So it's an addition, and it'll be a welcome addition to your clients' lives and make your lives a lot better too. So that you can understand what Client Experience 2.0 looks like, let's take a look at some other industries that are already using it. And so if you look at the app on the left, that's the B of A app, and you know exactly what you need to do when you come in to, it's very purpose driven. There is nothing in there there's no clutter, there's no email, there's no noise or fishers or scammers. You go in securely, you sign in, you know exactly what you need to do, and it's absolutely delightful. You can still go to talk to a banker. You can still go into a bank. You can still deposit a check via the ATM, or walk it into the bank if you wish. But most people are using the banking apps to transfer money, find out what the state, how much do they owe on certain things, and deposit their checks. And it's absolutely delightful and very, very secure. If you look in the middle, this is the New York Times app. And New York Times has spent, and other news organizations have spent a lot of time making sure that people can subscribe to their news, and you get it on the go. You get it with you. You can research articles if you want at any time. It's very delightful. You can still get a newspaper though, if you want. So these things do not replace. And on the right, you've got the Home Depot app, where you can actually text them and ask them if they have a bucket of nails or a patio set or whatever, and they'll tell you. So the cool thing is that these apps just make working with these companies just much easier and more convenient. And they are now part of that that customer, whoever uses them, they're part of that customer's life. They're going mobile. They're meeting those customers where they are. So another example of Client Experience 2.0 is the Intuit QuickBooks apps. Um, Intuit has spent a lot of time, making sure their accounting system is fully mobile, and their growth and popularity with business owners is showing, shows that they expect this. Um, but again, this is a dedicated space. And there's nothing else going on in that app. Now, the cool thing about QuickBooks is that they have also spent time from looking at the accountant experience as well, and you can now collaborate using QBO. So it's meeting the needs of both parties. So as you think about your own firm, the first question you need to ask yourself is the software we ask our clients to use, is it in fact easy for them to use? And you want to ask yourself, like, for example, is it available on the go? That's one form of making it easy. Do you have to spend time troubleshooting it or helping people log in? If the answer is yes, then you absolutely know that's not easy. And then the other thing is, how many of your clients just ignore it altogether and email you documents or take a picture and text you? Um, those are all symptoms that your software is not easy. If you haven't got 100% client adoption, and if clients ignore it or you have to help them, your software is not easy. It's not an easy solution. And this is probably what most of you are doing. Most of you are offering for your digital client experience. And the interesting thing about this is that we all think of email as being easy, but it really isn't. Email has become this giant albatross around our necks, and it has the added insult that it is not secure. And then on top of that, I've already explained why it's difficult for your clients to deal with that in their day. Um, but it's also probably one of the only things that you're using that was coded in the 90s, which is 30 years ago. So just kind of these things have been, we've accepted email just because we've had it for so long. But it's not meeting the needs of busy accounting firms and also their clients anymore. And the portal is a great idea, but very poor execution, and clients find them notoriously difficult to use, which has that knock-on effect of making you wait for documents and have to badger and have to chase and all of that. And that brings me to the second question, which is, how many of your clients actually met your deadlines and requests for documents in this past season? Um, One of the things that I hear frequently from accountants and CPAs, and I certainly know it was an issue when I was in practice all those years ago, is that we just spend a tremendous amount of time wasting our time waiting for documents, waiting for them or searching for them or asking them for them again. Um, and it's it's just exhausting. It prevents you from doing so many more things, and it's such a time vampire that and you can't get the time back, and it's just really low value. It just adds no value. Um, so the easier that you make it for your clients to send things to you, the higher chances are they're going to do it on a timely basis. And here's a few lines that you might have heard. If you don't, if you have not heard any of these, or so the columns on the left are things that clients will say to you. The far right column, the three items there, are things that you may say in either to a client or in your firm. But if you have never heard any of these things before, then your client experience is just fine. But I would bet that most of you have heard one or all of these things. And I think, can you resend the files? Can the link you sent expired? I can't log into the portal. I don't have a scanner. I'll have to wait till I'm in the office to scan those to you. Can I text you? Do you have a mobile app? I didn't check my email. I was too busy. On the right-hand side, I think the right-hand side is just it's pain that the firm feels. So a client calls in and they want an answer, but you're not the primary person that works on that account, so you can't assist them because that other person isn't there. So you have to tell them, well, I really would like to help you, but I just am not in the loop. Can you fill me in? And then the client has to tell you. Or I'm copying you, all my staff. I'm copying all my whole firm so that you have this for future reference, which is those CCs and blind copies, just this explosion of email in your inbox. And then the last one is just like, where is that document? Where is it? Is it in email, text, the portal? How many places do we have to look? And that leads right into that third question, which is when you think about clients asking you questions or providing information or sending you documents, how many different ways do they communicate with you? And that is um, that means you've just like swung too far in the other direction. You've got now a crazy making multi-platform nightmare of having to search for documents, and you just don't know where anything is, including coworkers' inboxes. So there's an optimal level of communication that creates the good experience versus too little or too many. And so if we look at the continuum of client experience 1.0 is what we may think of as a very, very traditional firm. There's not a lot of ways that clients can get in touch with that firm. It's sort of email, phone, fax, snail mail. They tend to be quite rigid, you know, many of you have just left firms like that, and you're working now in tech forward firms. And tech forward firms it's a step in the right direction, but it comes at a cost for the staff. And the fact there's just too many ways now for clients to communicate with you. And if you look at this list, I think it's about 10 different ways, and there may be some that I haven't even listed on there. Now, Client Experience 2.0 firms have taken all of that communication and corralled it into one app. And you may still get some email, but you'll get dramatically less. There won't be the confusion of staff, basically having to look in having to ask everybody who's got that document or look in 10 places. Clients will send documents much faster. You'll still have some phone and some snail mail, and as I said, a little bit of email, but not much. And you end up feeling that you have when you move to this environment, this Client Experience 2.0 environment is, I don't have to look in all these places. I don't have to chase clients for documents. And you can spend time working on value add for your clients, and the adversarial relationship of them not sending documents to you, it pretty much goes away. So, and surrounding all of this is this fourth question. And you have to ask yourself, has your firm ever had a scary cybersecurity moment? It's actually probably not a matter of if, but when that you will have one. The scammers and the phishers are just getting that good. They are so good. And if you don't have a cybersecurity scary scammer story, then you've been really, really lucky. Liscio firms get a 20% discount from McGowan Pro on their insurance, their cyber insurance, because of the security built into the platform. So the software that you choose and the methods that you choose to communicate with your clients need to be secure. The risks are just huge. I think it's $150 per document compromised in a breach. And so you can just imagine that just would add up dramatically. And unfortunately, some firms don't even know they have been breached for several years. So suffice it to say, you have to pay attention to security for sure. Now we're going to focus a little bit. We're going to move to the technology, and we're going to use Liscio as an example, but there may be some other softwares out there that you may want to look at. But the first thing you want to do is make sure that it is easy to sign in and secure. And Liscio gives your clients and your staff 4 different ways to sign in. You can even sign in with your face. So if you make it easy, while at the same time making it very, very secure, then you take it out of email, then you are significantly enhancing your security just right off the bat and reducing your risk just right off the bat. So let's dig a little deeper into the technology that you should be looking at to help elevate your client experience. You are going to want to look for a modern solution. And the reason this is important is it needs to fit seamlessly into your client's busy day. So it needs to be mobile. It needs to be secure, needs to be easy. You don't want to be asking them to step out of their day. And it needs to be able to be used for all of your communications with your clients, including document exchange, scanning documents in. When you're asking your firm, the firm is asking the client a question, or the client is asking a firm a question, or staff member are exchanging notes about a client, that kind of thing. It needs to be all inclusive. It also needs to present a modern face to your clients in a way that is enjoyable. And so this is where your client experience really, really matters, because it's actually a differentiator for your firm. You can give your clients a really cool accountant app where they can scan documents just using their mobile phone. They can sign things on the mobile phone. They can, everything is all in one place. They don't have to wade through spam or phishing or worry about a link. Their task tracking keeps the clients and the staff on track. And Client Experience 2.0 firms can actually charge more. And the interesting thing is you may choose not to increase your fees to your clients, but you can definitely take on more clients. So you'll actually earn more, keep more, earn more money, which is always a bonus. So this is what it looks like if you were to use Liscio in your firm. On the left-hand side is a screenshot with an 8879 that's been sent, and the client can just click on it, review it, and sign it. Now, in 8879 in the United States, typically you'll have a KBA, a knowledge-based authentication that will go with it, and that's included. That is available as well. So you want to look for a solution that's complete. And you can see that this Lindsay has signed it right there. And then on the right, we just put a picture of the 1040 because we didn't, and the 8879. This is a different document that we're showing there. But the point about the documents is that when they are uploaded into Liscio, the clients can see them, and they're available there for signature, but also self-serve. So if the client needs to send it to a banker or a mortgage broker later, or download it for their own use, they can do that. And then the staff have everything organized by clients. So it takes the stress out of managing the documents and trying to find where everything is. It just corrals it all, as I said, into one quiet, secure place that your clients are going to love using, and your staff will find will just eliminate a lot of headaches and wasted time. So, and that's the last question that we have to ask is, how much time do you spend looking for documents? And when a client calls, do you actually have the answer at your fingertips? And that really goes to, what kind of experience are you offering your clients? Like, are you able to answer questions when they call? Can you find the documents that they've sent you? How much time are you wasting, and what could you use that time for to delight your clients and keep your staff happy and productive? Jamel Smith is an example. He is the owner of a very, very busy tax practice, and he just says he's just able to move so much faster now that they've moved to Liscio, because they don't have to search across all these different platforms. Systems should simplify your business. They should not complicate them. And they should also, I would add, it's not written in the words there, but I would also add, it should also delight your clients and help your staff get more done. And Caitlin Sten has been using Liscio forever, and she basically says it's just amazing and it looks good. Customers enjoy using it, and her firm uses it as a differentiator. So I hope this has been helpful in helping you think through some of the different factors that can add or detract from your client experience, and get your creative juices flowing about what you would use with this, what you would use the time back if you didn't have to chase clients for documents, or if you could find all of their documents whenever you needed them. So we have a quiz that you can take. If you choose to, you just go to the website there and take the client assessment quiz. Takes about 2 minutes, and you will be you'll end up with a valuable resource at the end that will help you capitalize on your strengths and focus on any hotspots. So thank you very much for your attention and attending this course. I hope this has been useful. Thanks very much.